域展開。無料空所。
What's up, YouTubers? It's your boy Spectro here, and today I want to talk to you guys about Final Fantasy VII Revelation. It's been a long time coming, guys. I've been waiting on this game since 2024 when Final Fantasy Rebirth came out. Man, after the end of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, seeing how things turn out. Oh, spoilers ahead. If you haven't played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Remake, I'm going to tell you right now, tune out, because there's going to be a lot of spoilers talked about, alright? Now, like I said before, man, at the end, basically, Aerith died. Everybody's all sad. Everybody's kind of like not knowing what to do now. And then everybody's kind of finding this new purpose. And now they all determined to stop Sephiroth once and for all, continuing on this mission. Cloud is, well, growing more delusional as the time goes on, because his memories are becoming more and more scattered, distraught. He's losing focus of who he is. And it's like, they think everything's okay. They think Cloud's got back control, but the control that they see that Cloud has is just an illusion. Because in fact, if anything, Cloud's just got even more stable. But the biggest question I have right now is about the whole Zack thing. You know, we saw at the end of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth where basically we saw where the timeline intertwined. The timeline where Zack lived instead of dying at that dying before the beginning of Final Fantasy VII. At the whole Shinra, the big Shinra attack, you know, they showed up, they start shooting at them, try to take them out. Cloud goes against like over 1,000 Shinra soldiers, he dies there. But in fact, in the other timeline, he survives. And it's weird because Cloud and Aerith are also in that timeline, but they're asleep. They're in a deep, deep sleep. In that timeline, Cloud never woke up from his Mako poisoning, like crazy overdose of Mako poisoning in his body. Aerith is, well, I'm not sure what happened to Aerith. Aerith is, they just both sleep in that timeline. But it's a little strange because as well, Tifa and Red and Barrett, all of them are still around. They're still active. They're still fighting. That's all still happening. But it's just like things are just different in that timeline. Honestly, I'd rather play Zack a little more and explore that timeline to see just how much things are different. You know, is that not Zack, but if Cloud never woke up in that timeline, did Zack ever meet Tifa? You know, does he end up going to go see them and see what went down? Because I know that he went to the facility and all that went down, but we didn't really see too much of it because it was kind of glimpsing in and out a lot. And what makes this even more interesting is the fact that Sephiroth is very much aware of this other timeline where Zack is alive. But my thing is, I'm trying to figure out what Sephiroth is trying to achieve. It feels like he's trying to basically take these two timelines and merge them into one new timeline entirely. Aerith dies, which is the current timeline of what we're playing with Cloud and the whole crew, is where she died, but they saw it and they tried to prevent it, but there was just no preventing that was going to happen regardless, and Sephiroth knew that. There was nothing that was going to stop Aerith from dying. That had to happen. But I felt like this, and I think I said this pretty much in the end of my talk with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, is that I think Aerith is going to wake up. Somehow, somewhere, her consciousness from this timeline is going to transfer over to the other one, and she's going to wake up in that world. Because right now, she is asleep in a deep sleep, and Cloud is still in the wheelchair asleep in that world. So I'm kind of curious how, like, is this going to lead to that? Her waking up in that world and they're going to be, like, kind of discussing how everything is, like, supposed to be, but it's not the way it's supposed to be. You know, and Cloud still being asleep, because I think it might come to a situation where Cloud might end up getting killed somewhere in this timeline, too. And he ends up waking up in the other world. So, like, I don't know. I just kind of feel like that's the case, because it just feels strange that they are the only two who are not awake in that timeline. Everybody else is up and active, everybody else is not awake. But however, though, I am very excited for Valentine. I think that was his name, right? The vampire dude, bro. I wanted to play him so bad in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, bro. He looks so cool. I was really disappointed that I really didn't get a chance to actually play with him, or he didn't join the crew. So it felt like he was leaning towards that. So I'm assuming now that they are going to add him a part of the crew in Final Fantasy VII Revelation. Honestly, this is coming out a lot sooner than I thought it would. I genuinely didn't think this game may not even touch our screens until like 2029, because Square Enix, while they do make some good games, it take them a long ass time, bro, to get these games out. Like, I genuinely just didn't really expect them to get this game out no time soon, to be real with you, because what Final Fantasy VII Remake was 2020, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was 2024, so that's what, a good 4-year span? That's not that long, okay? But when you think about it from the hindsight, I felt like it might have been longer. I looked at the release date of each game, and the release date they said for Final Fantasy VII Remake was 2020, and the Final Fantasy Rebirth was 2024. Not 2024, but I felt like it might have been a little bit longer than that. It felt longer than that, but perhaps that's just my imagination. Now, after they finish Final Fantasy Revelation, and I'm very, very excited for it. Hey, I'm gonna be honest, Square Enix. Oh, so shout out to you guys for also making that big announcement about Kingdom Hearts 4, because that was long overdue, man. I mean, it was so many people ready, hoping, begging, praying on their knees, looking for that but the Kingdom Hearts 4 news. They were looking for it. You guys came through and pulled up for them. And honestly, I did not expect that to get shown in the Nintendo Direct. I don't know what I was expecting, but I did not expect that to be in the Nintendo Direct. But I guess it works because they did the whole big announcement with a Kingdom Hearts collection being released. So I suppose that announcement makes sense to be there, you know, just to have those two in sync with one another. I also saw the Final Fantasy, it was the other, like the first Final Fantasy game kind of getting an HD 2D remake. We'll get discussing about that in a whole nother video though, because I have my own cool thoughts on that, because that looks awesome. Really awesome. I really want to play that. But what I was gonna say was that Final Fantasy 16, bro. What's going? Not 16, 17. I think it's time. I think it's time we start discussing Final Fantasy 17. Shit, Persona on drop news about Persona 6. It's time, Square Enix. It's time to start thinking about Final Fantasy 17. Where that story is gonna take place, what era is gonna be, what is the theme gonna be for? It's time, and I'm sure they have some kind of idea what they want to do for Final Fantasy 17, but I'm very curious of how that's gonna turn out to be. Honestly, I gotta make a whole new character. Well, this new character be like Noctis, Lightning, Cloud, Terra, Warrior Light. Well, I don't count him. I don't think he has that much of a personality, to be honest with you. But you guys get my point, Squall. You guys get my point. All right. You have all these cool Final Fantasy main protagonists, and they all have their own unique abilities and their unique powers and their signature, and their worlds all stand out from one another. So I kind of wonder what they're going to do for Final Fantasy 17 to make that stand out for all the rest of the Final Fantasies. Only time will tell, I suppose, on that whole thing. And as for Final Fantasy VII Revelation, like I said before, it's kind of meeting all the things I'm hoping for. You know, the cast is getting bigger. You know, a lot of the characters that I felt like they could have just kind of added to Rebirth in the first place, but I feel like they just kind of saved these characters to just kind of pan out a little bit for add that extra content for part 3. But, you know, that was just me, though, alright? I feel like that bro could have easily been a playable character in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but they purposely just didn't make him a playable character. But it looks fun. It looks like it's going to be a good-ass time, and I'm definitely looking forward to see how this story comes to its conclusion. And like I said before about the Final Fantasy 17, hey, we need to get some news on that at some point, too. I don't know when, but we need some news on it. And also, not even just Final Fantasy 17, I'm wondering if they're going to go, because, I mean, this is going to be the end of the Final Fantasy 7 Remake trilogy, so are they finna remake any other old Final Fantasy games? Because the only other Final Fantasy games I can honestly see getting this sort of treatment will have to be either 6 or 5, you know, or 2, or one of the older ones. Now, I think 6, or possibly it was rumors that 9 has a high likely chance to getting that remake as well. So, well, I think it was Zidane. He was the main character for that. So, hey, I'm not against it. Well, hell, they might just do that versus 13. I'm just fucking with y'all. Y'all know they're never gonna do that. With all that being said, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like video. So, the video. Can you see you guys next time, Spectrum. See ya.